Welcome back, everybody.
Morning, everybody.
Joe here.
Kevin.
All right, so we're finally here. The last season of Mad Men. Last week's premiere. I really, really did enjoy it, and we thought Don was going to have an affair when he was in the plane with
Yeah. Nev Campbell.
Nev Campbell,
Yeah.
which is shout out to her, great cameo.
Yeah, it was actually.
And he just kept saying, "I have work to do. I have work to do." And us knowing Don, we just kind of doubted him the whole time. And he's technically, I mean, he's still working.
Well,
he's pitching ideas through Freddie.
Yeah, but someone kind of mentioned it on Patreon, and I kind of agree. The work he needs to do isn't about work. It's about repairing his relationship with Sterling Cooper and getting back to work.
Yeah.
Is the work that he's talking about, and I agree with that.
And even Megan too at that point, because that's just done. Like that was awkward. That was awkward.
He said it on the plane. He's like, she doesn't realize it's over. It hasn't even been that long.
Yeah.
He's acknowledging the fact that he's terrible. And I was thinking about it this week. Obviously, any number of things can happen. I think their marriage is over, and I think what actually ends it is at some point, somehow, Megan's going to figure out that Dawn actually isn't working at Sterling Cooper.
Huge, yeah.
And she's going to be like, well, if you're not working, why aren't you here with me?
Yeah.
Why are you always running back to New York? Why are you in New York at all?
Yeah.
Which is more than a fair question. It's almost bizarre that he's not. But that just shows how unhealthy and unable to move on Don is, right?
Yeah.
We've mentioned all along his wardrobe, right? Don is still dressed like he was dressed in 1958.
Even
it's 10 years later.
Yeah.
Because Don can't move on. We've had a lot of kids these days moments with Don. He's incapable of it. And I think Sterling Cooper is another thing he just can't move on from.
Do you think that he will? Do you think that by the end of this season, he's just gone? He's out?
Maybe by the end of the season, I'm not sure, but I don't think he stays out for the whole season. I thought that might have been a chance, right? I thought we might have come into the season and he would have been bought out, or in the process of being bought out, so that he would have a separate life. But with this thing that he's doing now, that we've seen, like he's actually trying this backdoor stuff to get back in everybody's good graces somehow.
Yeah.
At least still doing work for them in a weird way and refusing to kind of walk away. I don't think he's going to be out for the whole season.
Yeah.
He may come back for a short amount of time, blow it again, or what I think is more likely, he decides he doesn't want to be there.
I think that's the most likely is he doesn't want to be there.
Right.
But I think they will return to him because Lou kind of seems like he sucks.
Nobody seems to like Lou.
Us included.
I didn't really care for him. He seemed, like I said, he seemed really milquetoast.
You see his granddad,
right? You said it. You said it. He seems like the safe choice.
Yeah.
Like, get someone like Lou because, with nothing else, there's absolutely no volatility with Lou.
Yeah.
Which, in a creative job, that's not necessarily a great thing. I think Peggy's finally realizing that she has not understood all along how great she's had it working for bosses that let her kind of push the envelope because they wanted to, and actually chase greatness. And now she's like, oh wait, mediocrity's okay, and I'm not a big fan of it.
Sure.
I'm like, well, you had it with Dawn, and you probably had it a little bit with Ted, to varying degrees and for different reasons, obviously. But yeah, I don't think Peggy is in the right place with Lou here.
Also, the office looks like almost completely different now. I mean, almost everybody's gone. Like Pete's in California, Don's not working there.
Yeah. Is it weird that I really liked Pete as a person in that last episode?
He found some kind of happiness in LA.
That is the happiest he's ever been.
He's flying
it was
high.
Like maybe being divorced and out in California and kind of doing his own thing. Maybe that's what Pete should have been doing with his life all along.
Do you think he is going to be a good person now, or do you think this is just first episode? Oh, look how great it's been in LA. Do you think he also continues to be kind of slimy as the show goes on?
I don't know. He just seems more content than ever.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's hard to break old habits, right? People are who they are. So Pete being slimy is still very much on the table. Mm-hmm. But I think it's also really possible that all Pete needed was to find a place where he was okay with himself.
Yeah.
To stop trying to be Don or to be these guys like his dad or his father-in-law, to try to be like, oh, this is I'm insecure. This is the person I'm supposed to be in this lifestyle. Maybe he will just stop. And he's hopefully. Like, you know what? I'm happy now.
Hopefully.
I would like to see that Pete for the whole season if it's possible.
Yeah. Hopefully he gets Don back. He plays a part in getting Don back,
Right.
Because, he does look out for Don. Don looks out for him, then vice versa. So we'll see what happens going forward, but I'm really excited to get into this episode.
Me too, and I hope we're not done with Bob. Bob's an interesting guy. Before we get started, we do want to thank all of our patrons and give a special shout out to deluxe patrons Arturo Lurker, Balas Foldes, Chris, and NJ. Thank you so much, guys. We're very, very happy you're here with us.
Yes, we are. If you guys are watching this on YouTube for the first time, welcome to our channel. If you'd mind hitting the like button for us, leave us a comment down below, and please hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date on the new content we've coming your way.
If you'd like to see a full-length reaction to this and everything else we've watched or currently watching, please check out the link in the description below to that Patreon page. On every show, including Mad Men, we're at least 4 episodes ahead on Patreon of where we're on YouTube. So if you want to keep going, the Patreon's a place to do it. You will have to sync and watch along on your own device or streaming service. You are only going to hear us for copyright purposes. And we are almost finished right now as a Patreon exclusive with Season 2 of 30 Rock.
Yeah.
So does that mean then that, because there was a break in this season, right? Like Mad Men did? I mean, Breaking Bad did. So is it 7 and 7 then?
Yes,
Where they
yeah,
okay.
14 episodes.
So do we have like a mid-season finale, you think?
Yeah, probably. Also, somebody on Patreon said, they're like, I don't know why you guys like Bob so much. He's definitely a sociopath.
No, he is, but he's an interesting sociopath.
He's so likable. I don't know what it is.
I don't even
being a sociopath.
I don't know if he's likable, but I do know he's interesting to watch. He's compelling.
I thought he was likable, like when he was helping Joan, when he was looking after Pete.
But it was obviously self-interest.
It unravels for sure, but he's got a screen presence.
He's a compelling character for sure. Weird that he's unemployed and he's still setting an alarm for himself in the morning, isn't it?
Yeah. Make good habits, I guess.
And there's no one there with him. Which, when Roger, when they showed the floor with the dirty apartment with the girl, and I was like, that's Dawn.
But I thought it was Dawn too, yeah.
Oh, okay, never mind.
That was really
I gave my man a lot of credit there. He stayed in bed for 5 more hours. He's probably depressed.
Yeah. Track.
Well, I guess that's something,
Yeah. Well,
oh, that's not a good sign. Is
that a roach? Ew.
Yeah.
Ew.
Well, tea is invigorating.
Will you stop it? All I want is
It's a bachelor pad, man. The chair pulled right up in front of the TV.
Well, to say about the bottle is Ted said in the last episode or 2 episodes ago, you can't quit cold turkey. So hopefully he's winning himself off. But knowing Don, I doubt it.
Right. I don't know. We'll see if we ever see him like really, off the wagon this season.
Yeah.
Because the last 2 seasons he's been drunk the whole time.
Yeah.
So I will continue to do what I feel comfortable doing for free, which is answer your phone and keep you up to date.
That's all I ask for.
No, you asked me to get you photocopies of the butler work.
But I want you to take this.
That's really nice. Really nice of her.
Yeah.
Like she's the real MVP. She really is.
Of course. The cleaning woman comes tomorrow morning.
You get a exterminator too?
Yeah, right. We've been very cynical at the show because it is a quite cynical show, but hopefully Don can have some sort of comeback and
I think he will.
And maybe emerge into the 70s, change the tide, man.
Maybe it's interesting that he got dressed up for work just for Don to come over.
That's pretty sad, actually.
Yeah.
She says you look like a working girl. And I thought she meant I look low class, like a secretary. But Petra says she...
Is that Sally?
Yeah. Sally's getting big.
Yeah.
You know she's gonna miss school till Easter? I wish my mom was dead.
These girls are awful.
I don't have anything black but my turtleneck, so I thought I'd wear that with my brown suede skirt and black tights. Jesus, Draper, is this your first funeral?
This is the Southern California Chevrolet Dealers Association.
Totally different, yeah.
Oh, Michael, very nice work on Butler. Stan, we're going to need renderings, color.
By the way, Stan's look is amazing.
I love it.
Yeah.
Maybe if you invite me, you can have till Tuesday.
Hey, now all know you don't have plans for Valentine's Day.
Yeah. No, she didn't know it was Valentine's Day.
Is this some kind of joke? Just tell me now because I don't want to have to fire you later.
Enjoy your flowers, boss.
Yeah.
I see there's no card, but I'd like to know who sent me these beautiful flowers.
Well, actually, I don't know.
Oh my God. That's so embarrassing.
That's really awkward.
I would say so. I'd tell her. Like, those are actually my flowers. I'd tell her.
Tell him that I relayed his message to the client. And...
This is terrible.
He's going to come back and be like, what?
they're not They don't want to hear any more pitches. The business is gone.
This is so cringy.
Oh my god.
Hell no.
No, he won't. He's gonna call me like, "What's happening?"
That did not go as well as she thought it did. Even if they were from him, that was a terrible message.
Just going to go up and check at the counter.
I'll get your fare.
No, my address book is in there. It's everybody I know.
We can't wait.
Is Sally about to get lost in New York?
She is. Leave her.
She thought they were hers.
It was an honest mistake.
It was an honest mistake. I would have said something like, "Hey, man,
Yeah.
just
Really awkward.
It won't leave the room, but those are my flowers."
Why didn't you say something?
It was too late. I tried.
Not hard enough. Yeah.
You know who I feel the worst for is Charles.
He'd rather you have a job.
You know that's not true.
Happy Valentine's, Dawn.
I mean, he's not going to get fired, but it is going to be really awkward.
Yeah. Bring the card. Like, I'm sorry. She's
Okay, so Sally's there.
There's Sally Bumble. No.
It's going to be really awkward.
Where's my dad?
Right. Who's going to tell her? Sweetie, your dad doesn't work here anymore.
Be awkward getting that from Lou.
Yeah.
Go find Peggy. Actually, I don't think she knows Peggy.
It is going to be from Lou.
Well, he's not here.
Did he change offices?
Yeah. I'm with Lou on this one.
Yeah,
He didn't
sorry,
tell you.
Lou.
Probably at home. You should call him. You know how to get an outside line?
Is Joan here?
That's a good idea. Your office is right down there.
Joan can break this probably better than Lou can.
Yeah. Lou seems to not be a guy of social skill.
You know, I think everybody's at lunch.
Man, Sally's having a crap day.
Yeah, she is. I assume she didn't find her purse, and that's why she's stranded in New York.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
'Cause she couldn't get a
missed the
ticket.
train. Yeah, she just honestly, she just stayed on the train.
Yeah.
I see a sheep and a wolf, but which is which?
No. I don't know if we've seen him since season 1.
So I don't even recognize him.
Jim Holt, he's the one that runs the big firm that tried to sign Don away with the golf clubs.
Gotcha.
On behalf of myself and all the millionaires at McCann Erickson, we'd love a chance to tell you how handsome you are.
You think maybe he goes to McCann? I mean, he does have his contract and his partnership and his non-compete.
Just take his money and run. Well, if he takes his money, does he still get to go work somewhere else?
I don't know how the contract stuff will work.
Let me try out there.
What difference could that possibly make?
I thought we were going to get a new one of these. And why the hell aren't we in the conference room?
Is Roger the only one that doesn't want Don gone? Is that what this
It
is?
seems that way.
Yeah.
We don't really know how Joan's feeling, but she
Right.
obviously recognizes it.
We'll be on Don's side too, 100%. Yeah. I mean, those are two partners.
They are.
Where were you?
I was at the office.
No, you weren't.
What?
I wasn't feeling well. I left early.
You're going to have to fess up.
My roommate's mother died and they let us go to the funeral, but I lost my purse.
Also, lying to her is just going to keep pushing her farther and farther.
Yeah.
I mean,
And I guess I need a note of excuse.
I'll drive you.
No, it's okay. You're not feeling well.
These two are still not good. Yeah.
they're not feeling well, see?
You really don't have to. It looks like you have a lot of work to do.
Come on. It'll be nice. We'll take a drive.
Shots at him.
You know what? It would really go a long way to help building their relationship if he just fessed up.
What do I say?
Just tell the truth.
Oh, that is a loaded, well-written line right there.
It's like, Don.
That is good writing. Tell the truth.
Obviously, him hiding this is not the same as him having an affair, but...
Right.
I have to call him.
Call him. You have to call him. Okay. Well, don't bother apologizing to me, I guess.
I really don't like Lou. Screw you, Lou.
I hope something bad happens to Lou and he goes down in flames like Bert did.
He pulls a Don during the Nestle meeting.
Hello?
It's Dawn, and I'm really sorry. I don't know what happened, but Sally came into the office and she talked to Lou.
It's actually a good call. Now he knows the gig is up.
Lou, Joan's here to see you.
Actually, I need to see the both of you.
This is so awkward, and it's nobody's fault.
Yeah, why is it a big deal?
Yeah. First off, nobody's job is to keep Dawn's daughter out. I'm just going to hate this guy more and more as we go on.
Yeah.
All right. It looks like I'm about to again.
I skipped my lunch to buy your wife perfume.
It's not my problem. None of this has anything to do with me.
Wow.
I hate this guy so much.
Was that necessary?
When she comes back from the ladies, have her hand over the keys.
Oh my God.
Okay, I feel like the whole staff is going to rebel against this guy.
I hope so.
It's like, Don is bad in a lot of ways, but he's not this.
Jim and I had a meaningful conversation.
I heard your conversation. You're full of it. That is just the kind of weakness that got us in this position to begin with. Let me just go to Detroit.
Yes, what else gonna do?
Yeah. Sorry, Pete, the decision hath been made.
Yeah.
But I don't seem to exist. No one feels my existence.
Just cash the checks. You're gonna die one day.
That's a good line.
Yours is only slightly better than mine. What am I supposed to do? Work my way up to your office?
You can have my office.
Good.
We're not talking anymore. From now on, we'll both pretend I'm in New York.
Okay, that thing I said about Pete being a happier guy,
Yeah.
I take it all back.
Lasted one episode.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll have Mr. Draper's calls come straight to me at reception.
What is an MVP, isn't she?
She really is.
And she works for these insecure men.
If anything, we need Dawn back just so we can get her up back. to where she
Seriously,
is.
yeah.
Maybe I should get a pencil. And every time I see that actress, I just think of there's an airplane here to see you.
Why are you interrogating me?
Because I know you went to my office. So I find your story a little suspicious.
My story? Did you lose your job?
Why were you in the city? I want to know this minute.
I don't have to tell you anything. Just stop the car.
I'm talking to you.
You're yelling at me.
Wow, this is a good, honest conversation here.
Do you know how hard it was for me to go to your apartment? I could have run into that woman.
Yeah.
She could get in, and I'll have to stand there, smiling, wanting to vomit while I smell her hairspray.
It's true.
Yeah, this is a good conversation.
Hopefully that resonates, Dawn.
Yeah, say something.
Please stop.
I'm not stopping the car.
Stop talking.
Isn't it sad that she had to be the adult and actually bridge
Yeah.
the actual conversation?
Yeah. It always takes me a second to realize the severity of things.
Tell her to tell Ted that I have no intention of talking to him today. And that's it. That's all I said.
God, she's a toddler right now.
I mean, you
She's
did say
a,
that
she's
you
a little
lost the
Dawn.
business,
Yeah.
Look, I should have bought
Tell her.
you flowers. Out of respect. Not because of some holiday.
It's just so embarrassing.
Why didn't you tell me?
You didn't give me a chance.
I didn't give you a chance?
Don't blow up now. Oh, this is awkward.
You have a ring on. We all know that you're engaged. You did not have to embarrass me. Grow up.
God!
All right. Let's see that place has gotten any less toxic.
No.
Yeah.
How about you go apologize
still
because she
that
didn't do
cringe?
anything wrong? What a
Poor secretaries.
childish way all these people are treating their secretaries.
I noticed there's been a change in reception.
I had to shuffle the girls.
Well, I'm all for the national advancement of colored people, but
Is he mad that there's a black girl on the front door?
Burnt.
Do you want me to dismiss her based on the color of her skin?
I'm merely suggesting a rearrangement of your rearrangement.
Oh my God, these men suck.
So Bert's racist. All right, cool.
Well, you've kind of known that.
I know, but like now it's out there.
Our fortunes are in other people's hands. And we have to take them.
Yeah. 5:15, homie.
Yeah. Yeah. Go watch a movie or something.
Yeah, exactly. I've got to work. Go be rich in LA somewhere for a while.
That's like Tim saying, man. Take the money. Like,
Yeah.
get paid.
You're getting paid a lot.
The reason I didn't tell you I wasn't working was because I didn't want anyone to know.
That's true.
I said the wrong things to the wrong people at the wrong time.
What did you say?
It's really not bad what he said. Tell her.
I told the truth about myself,
There you go.
There.
but it wasn't the right time. So they made me take some time off.
Yeah, that's why you didn't tell her.
What was the truth?
Nothing you don't know.
Remember the day we went and saw my house?
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
I don't know. It's kind of up to them.
Well, really, it's up to you too, man. Like, you can do whatever you want.
If you're not going to work, why don't you stay with Megan?
There's the next big question.
You know, I visit every couple weeks. I talk to her all the time.
He hasn't told her.
Why don't you just tell her that you don't want to move to California?
See, that actually loosened everything up. That was really nice. Is this the part where are we too late for Peggy to go to apologize?
I really hope she does.
Yeah.
The flowers are nice MacGuffin, though.
Yeah, they are. She blew up on her for nothing. Because you made a bad assumption. Yeah. She could ask to move secretaries.
Dawn can't work with Lou. Neither of them can work out front. Scarlett and Harry are practically married. What do you want me to do? Fix it!
That's on you.
Yeah.
It's for an account man, not the head of personnel.
What do you mean?
Let me know what you decide. We can talk about Avon on Monday.
It's actually really nice of Jim.
Yeah, that was actually really big Jim.
Sometimes he can be really cool.
Right, yeah. He's been better than all the other partners.
Yeah. Also, the flowers behind her, do you think that's from Roger?
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dine and Dash.
Good. I want you to finish your meal. I'm going to go out to the car and get it running. Then you walk out.
Don't do that to the
Come on.
You're a millionaire. Come on. Yeah, God. A lot of restaurants make the servers pay
They
for the
do.
food when that happens. Don't do that.
You're at least going to leave a tip?
Yeah. Don strikes me as a guy who always tips, yeah.
It was suggested that I move now that I have some accounts.
Jim suggested it.
Do you disagree?
Doesn't matter.
Too much change for Roger.
I think he'd like that she's so close now.
Yeah, right.
You sure I don't have to go in and talk to anyone?
No. I have the note.
Tell her you love her and thank her for listening to you today.
Don doesn't do I love yous, but...
I love you.
Okay. It looks like he actually wanted to say it back.
Aww.
We are going to get a Dawn redemption. It started right there.
Please.
Yeah, I really think so. I think we're going to have a better Dawn.
Just realize you love your daughter now, too?
I think Sally might be the start of Dawn actually getting better.
Hope so. And I'm glad that she's going to be integral to the plot. You know what I mean? Because the kids in the earlier seasons, they had some really good storylines, but they weren't the main focus of the show.
Right.
But Sally has always been more important than Bobby in terms of the story.
Right.
And since season 5-ish, 4 or 5, that's when she's really been being used more and more.
Used more and more. Obviously, the big thing was when she walked in on Dawn.
Yeah. That's season 6. Yeah.
Yeah.
Two times she's caught people. She caught Roger. She caught Dawn. It's really strange.
No, that poor girl probably has a really warped view of what the world is. But then again, in the world that she's growing up in, maybe that's not a terrible thing. Maybe she needs to know how awful the people around her are. You know,
bring it down to reality a little bit.
Right. I mean, she's not a little kid anymore. She's a teenager. Yeah. Maybe it's good for her as she kind of goes into adulthood to know just how awful the world that she's in, the rich elite world that she's in, how awful the people can be.
I mean, even when she was a kid, watching her parents fight the way they fought was pretty bad.
For sure, right.
Betty was really going through it back then.
Betty being awful to Glenn for no reason, which I'm still not sure what that's about.
Yeah, it's a weird thing. I don't know.
Right.
Do you think that Betty and Glenn will ever have a scene before the show's over?
I don't think we're done with Glenn. I think that at least
he always comes back.
Right. He'll be around for Sally at least. I don't know. We haven't seen them together since he was a little kid, right? Since he was coming over and visit. No, it was after that. He was coming over and visiting.
Yeah.
It was probably 4.
Yeah, when she ran him off.
When she Glenn because calls her out. I don't know why you hate me.
That was the old house, yeah.
Right. So I don't know if they're ever going to have a shared moment together, but we're not done with Glenn. And I kind of hope we do, because I want to know because Betty has grown as a person a lot, right? She has really grown as a person into herself. And I want to know if she does see Glenn, right? If Sally and Glenn are hanging out, she goes and visits, they're there together, whatever the context is, how she is to Glenn now that she's not the same person she was then.
Yeah.
Because Betty's arc has been as good as anybody's on the show.
I think so. Really, she's a character we don't really see that much of, right? There's even seasons where we only get maybe 4 or 5 scenes of her.
Since she's moved out with Henry, we haven't got obviously nearly as much, right?
Yeah,
because she's out of Dawn's life,
right? And if she can have an arc, in many ways, her and Dawn are 2 peas in a pod, right? If she can have an arc, I'm looking forward to seeing Dawn's. I really am.
They are kind of 2 peas in a pod. These are 2 people that were stuck in a very specific time era. I mean, a lot of these characters are. I mean, we saw in this episode, Bert is very much stuck in the past.
Well, yeah, like you mentioned in the episode, I think it's episode 9. It's the episode of Mad Men that's going up on YouTube today, if it ever uploads, because my internet's being slow. But it's going up today. It's the episode where they were at Bobby's camp.
I like that one a lot.
Yeah.
When they had their where.
And you called out the fact that they were the only two people that looked like they're in the 50s.
Yeah, everyone else was living this late
Yeah.
60s, and these two still look like it was 1958.
It'd be really good visual storytelling if, as Don gets better, because his appearance starts to change a little bit. You know what I mean? Because they did it when he was at rock bottom. He looked very disheveled. He looked gross. He looked really nasty. Like a lot of last season. And if he can become a better person, I'm not saying grow the sideburns out, but just change your attire. It's like they
grow goatee like evil Spock.
Evil Spock. Or just like subtle things like that, because the show is so good with telling a story without using much dialogue. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, the visuals on this show since the very first episode, right? The this has always been really, really good visual storytelling.
Yeah,
and really strong moments all the way through.
Absolutely.
We really got to see how awful and insecure and how tenuous everybody is right now.
Yep.
Through their eyes of their secretaries, those poor ladies across the board.
Even in LA when they were doing the conference call, can you fix that? Please just fix it. And she's like, yeah.
I swear to God, it kind of goes back to the pilot when Peggy first got hired and Joan was walking around when Peggy was hired as a secretary.
Yeah.
It was like half the time what they really want is a mother and a waitress. And you know what? That really got reflected here is all of these, you've got to really coddle their personalities as much as anyone else.
For sure.
These poor women have to be on their game and professional and take a lot of abuse all the time. It's they're walking on eggshells.
That's a great point. I mean, like, when I do go back and rewatch this, watching season 1 is going to be so weird.
Oh, yeah, it is, right? We go back to when you see where everybody is, who Don is in his family, who Peggy is,
just seeing the arcs,
who Pete is, of everybody, right? Like even Kenny was gross in season 1.
He was, okay. It's sometimes I forget that because he's such a different person now.
Right? No, he's grown up. Yeah. He was a child in season 1.
Yeah.
Especially when it came to the ladies.
Yeah.
He was pretty nasty.
Yeah.
But obviously he's a stronger, better person than most of them. Mm-hmm. I really hope Lou has an unceremonious exodus from this show. I would be bummed out if Lou is still in this job in season 14 or episode 14.
Yeah.
If we end the show with Lou still being the head of creative, because he sucks in so many ways.
I hate that guy.
I do too.
I feel like I've definitely waited on people like that when I worked in a restaurant, and just that kind of attitude. It's not my problem.
Yeah, the self-absorbed, I dish out abuse because this is my way of not having to be empathetic. If I'm just abusive, I can avoid thinking about other people at all.
Go do this for me, and then when the slightest inconvenience happens, you're not around. It's your fault.
Yeah,
even though I sent you off to go do something for you.
Yeah, that was that. Yeah, none of that was Don's fault.
No.
Lou just generally sucks, and the simple fact that Lou and Peggy and Bert and God, was there anyone else that wanted to fire their secretary?
No, but still, it's like the fact that Bert,
they couldn't own it. They couldn't own how awful they were,
and it's like, for the most part, we like Bert.
Yeah, he's kind of an absentee father figure there. Yeah,
like this moment's like, dang man, I really don't like Bert.
Right?
That's what I don't
yeah,
like Bert.
I forgot how much I don't like this. How awful this guy is and how out of touch he is. But this was really a great episode to see how the kind of the state of the union, how Peggy and Lou cannot handle their lives.
Yes,
they can't handle their jobs.
Peggy more so because we know that she's capable, but she's kind of having her own little issue.
This is Peggy lashing out because she's insecure and having her own personal crisis
about Ted. And Ted seems like he's having a crisis too. He's moving around LA.
Ted is obviously not happy going out to LA to fix it with his family. So I'm making the assumption that either he just really hates working in advertising now, in general, or repatching him with his family is not going well.
Do you think,
or both?
So 2 things before we wrap up. Do you think that Ted and Peggy will ever reconcile or have any moment again with one another? Do you think that works out? It's over.
I'd be surprised if they do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
A lot would have to happen.
Also, like it was out in the open. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, it was, people know about it.
It would be a thing where one of them would have to go either, they're on opposite sides of the continent.
Sure.
One of them would have to move back. Ted would have to acknowledge the fact that he's done with his family. Then they would have to bridge through it and walk all those minefields while also still working in Sterling Cooper.
So it's
probably not. It would be a lot to do in 12 episodes, right? Not that it's not doable. The writing's always good.
Yeah.
But a lot would have to happen.
Yeah.
In such a specific way that I don't know.
This season does have the advantage of it being 2 parts, so it's like time jump. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there may well. Yeah,
you know?
it may well be 1970 by the time we come back from the break. Right? That they actually get to the 70s.
And the second thing, which we close the episode out with, just about Roger and Jim. Do you think that that's going to come to a head?
Yeah,
it was eerie.
Yeah,
eerie moment.
And if I was to make a bet on what their issue is going to be, it's going to be about Don coming back, because Jim is the one that brought up we're how much he hates Don, right, in this episode. Like, I don't want him here. We're still paying him money. Anything he wants doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And obviously Roger is 100% in Don's court.
All of the old guard is, for the most part.
Yeah.
Obviously,
I mean, they wanted him out.
They did,
even including Roger.
They did,
but I don't think that lasts forever. I think
no,
and obviously what we saw in this episode, Roger doesn't like Lou either, right? Nope. He tried to have that moment with him about his subway experience or whatever. Yeah. And Lou has the sense of humor of a wet napkin, obviously.
Crazy things always happen to you.
Yeah, crazy things always happen to you, and Roger looked like annoyed with it. So I feel like at some point, Roger, who doesn't have a lot of work to really do at work, is going to miss his relationship with Don.
Plus, also, Lou might just be bad at this.
Lou might just be bad at this.
If Don's sober and has his head on a swivel, of course he's the man to get the job done.
Yeah.
You know what, Lou? Nobody wants Lou.
Nobody likes Lou. Obviously, we have Joe not liking Lou.
Yep.
We have Pete and Roger, who are definitely going to want Don back. I feel like there's going to be growing consensus among the partners that, okay, maybe Don should be back. Especially, and what I'm going to really look for is him coming back and making some effort, some gesture, some overture to get back to work.
Yeah.
It's not going to be them going to Don because he's working behind the scenes. It's going to be Don figuring something out to get himself back. And then saying yes.
Do you think that Freddy plays a part in that?
Yeah, I would think so, right?
I hope so. Yeah.
We didn't see in this episode, but I would think so.
How he does it, that was what I'm curious about.
Sure.
Is he by the way, this is Don's idea.
Right.
He just kind of dropped that little bombshell.
Something. I think Freddy, who I've always liked, we've always liked him. Even when he got fired, we're I really hate that Freddy's gone.
Very likable guy.
Very much so. Even though he's a dinosaur, with his dames and his whatnot, he's also stuck in the past. I like Freddy. I think Freddy's a good guy.
Yeah.
I think he would do the right thing for Don if given the opportunity to.
Sure.
So I think it does come to that.
He might bring it to Peggy. It might be a team effort, actually. He tells Peggy tells Roger.
Because obviously Peggy doesn't like Lou at all either.
No.
We'll see. There's a lot of inter-office politics at work here.
Oh, yeah.
All right, we'll catch you in the next one, guys. Yeah.
See ya.
Yeah.